Hello, we are back with the second operation in Regiments. If you watched the previous series, you'll know at the end of the last operation, we saw a chemical storage facility blow up, we had poisonous gas floating around, and now at the beginning of the second operation, we see a West German Panzer Brigade moving in to seize the area, trying to get the situation under control. Now, this is going to be a much shorter operation. It's just one phase around Mulhausen and a maximum of 3 phases. So we'll have no engineer support. We have 600 supplies, which might be a little on the light side. We'll see how that looks next phase. And for our 200 operational authority, I think to start with, we'll just call in this armored task force. Having those helicopters and extra tanks will be helpful as we try to move into the area quickly. And for our final 75 points, let's increase the deployment points. We don't have a ton of units to call in, but it'll be helpful to bring in all the ones we can. Now let's look at our events. We've got 3 positive events here, so this will be great. We won't have to worry about any negative events for this operation. We've got divisional artillery, which I love, recon focus, and then blitz. I think let's start with recon focus, as we're going to be in the first phase here. I'd like to see how the battlefield looks, and this will be helpful as we try to plan our attacks. Let's go. All right, so we have 4 objectives here. We need to destroy our targets at Delta, at Hotel, and at Rodenburg, and we have to capture the rail station where we get 50 victory points per phase for that. So the other 2 don't have to be done in any specific phase. We can hold those off till later. I do want to get that rail station as quickly as possible. And then looking at the best way to do that, if we go through Charlie, we'll get more operational authority, but if we go through Bravo, that'll be a shorter line to get to the rail station faster. However, we've got to cross a lot of open ground, and they can hit us from cover here. So I think we'll make a run for Charlie and try to push through the middle of Mulhausen to the rail station. So to start, let's get some tanks set up, keep them in cover as much as possible, get our recon out front. Now I do have a decent amount of self-propelled artillery. That should help us soften up the defenses a little bit. Have some recon behind. Let's send our HQ unit. The HQ units in this regiment are Leopard 2A4s, so they can hold up on their own. It's not like a lot of the Soviet ones where you see HQ units that are not able to fight unarmed. Here they're useful in a battle as well. Now we've got this recon ability, and we're going to just use this as much as we possibly can. It's free, so I'm going to use it every single time it's available. And where's my artillery? Here we go. Shift that to 1 and get them firing away. So they are already weakening these defenders. Can't tell exactly what they are. There we go. We're already pushing into that. Move up our helicopters a little bit. Alright, we have counter battery fire, so we might have to shoot and scoot our artillery a little. We got a lot of counter battery fire. Wow, they have a lot of artillery. Okay. So our Lux isn't seeing anything in Charlie. Let's get our infantry in there and make sure we're making progress. I want to move fast, and we're keeping this Gepard up just to make sure that they're not able to hit us too easily with airstrikes. I'm just inching my tanks along. I don't want to take too many losses. Alright, and Charlie should be ours shortly. Let's see what they've got in Bravo. I'm actually going to send up some infantry here. Okay. Now with the infantry in that wood line, that should help us hold on to it a little better. Prevent any counterattacks from sneaking up on us. And once we get through Mulhausen, we'll be able to hit them from 2 angles. Okay, so our Leopard's getting hit. Wonder how they snuck in there. Get our front armor facing them so that we have the most protection we can. Alright, let's get those leopards out of there. Keep them alive. And I think I'm going to pull my artillery back as well while they're still alive. Man, they have a lot of artillery coming at us. So I think we should just hit that head on. I'll divert some tanks over that direction. And I'm going to hold up my infantry in Charlie. I don't want to be open to a counterattack. So this isn't the initial plan, but I'm going to roll with it. I think we've got an opening to get into Bravo here. Now they're moving infantry around. We could start hitting them while they're on the move. Wow, we already lost some leopards there. We did not have a lot in reserve. Oh yeah, wow. So we had no extra units in that leopard unit. Alright, I'm gonna pull my helicopters back before anything bad happens to them. We're gonna keep moving up. This is a little more tense than I anticipated. But I think we'll be okay. I don't want to move these guys out of Charlie until we're more sure what's in that warehouse region. Deviating a little from our original plan, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, so they do have some infantry. I wish I had artillery ready to go. Get them up as soon as possible. Now it's just a BTR-70, so the main thing to worry about there is the infantry themselves. We'll get them up nice and close. It's a heat warhead, so it doesn't get any benefit from being close to our tanks. And we've got our infantry up close, or our tanks up close, and they should be able to deal some serious damage to those riflemen. Now Luke's is pretty badly damaged as well. But I'm going to bring this leopard up, bring this martyr up as well. Try to get them between Bravo and Mulhausen, and we're going to hit Mulhausen 3 from 2 directions at once. And I know it's normally important to keep your units alive, but it's even more important here because we just don't have reserves. Alright, so it looks like Mulhausen 3 is empty right now. It's a little odd, but we'll take it. We've got enough units here to put together a substantial push. We've got infantry holding down the flanks. I did not realize how few reserves we had in these units, so I'm definitely going to have to take that into account when we look at what we're going to bring in for the next phase. You take one hit and your tanks are below full strength. I want to see what's in that rail station. I want to get that secured ASAP. I just don't want to be hasty and waste units. We do not have units to spare here. I'm just going to start hitting that. Okay, so we got 2 to 4 units incoming with a counterattack. And I'm going to keep my Gepard up here. I don't want to pull that all the way back. especially when we know that they have planes in the area. Alright, so their Gavazka's gonna be gone. Who can I pull up for support? Yeah, I'm gonna bring these guys up. Okay, looks like they missed mostly. Alright, I'm pulling this Luke's out. With that Luke's gone, I'll be able to bring my helicopters back. And that'll be a big help. Okay, so we're taking fire from over here. I'm going to smoke that off. Protect my units. And maybe get my infantry in there. Don't want our infantry taking hits. Not when we don't need to. Redirect my artillery fire. I think this counts as urban here. Yeah. Okay. So let's do a little more recon. See what we're facing here. There is going to be a counterattack. We said 2 to 4 platoons. And I'm not in a big hurry to experience that right now. Alright, so I think for where we are now, this is tough. I know there's a counterattack incoming, so I don't want to divert any resources, but I'd like to take the warehouses and be able to bring up these infantry. Alright, so there is that counterattack. Yep. Alright, our leopards can see it. If they can see it, they can kill it. I'm going to bring my helicopters over here so they focus on the T-72s. There we go. T-72s are pulling out. Alright, they do have some air defense. Keep them at range. Alright, we lost a helicopter. We're taking much heavier losses in this one than I'm used to, and definitely more than I like. Who can we pull out? I don't want to pull these guys off the railway station. Don't want to leave that undefended. This is challenging. We just don't have a lot of units. And the enemy's outnumbering us, which is, you know, how this is supposed to go. You're counterattacking with a small force put together quickly. You don't have a lot of reserves. Just trying to figure out the best way to manage this. Alright. That's what I was hoping was not going to happen. Alright. Don't really use this rally ability much. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what it does. But with leopards versus BTRs, these should go down quick. Yeah, that was, wow, that was a beatdown. Alright, 14 seconds, we've got more area recon coming in. And I think I'm going to try to take the warehouses next. Okay, we're going to back up. Because that is far too close for comfort. Yeah, let's get those leopards out of there. They're Too beat up. Alright, that's a lot of units over there. Trying to decide if we should try to sit still and stick it out, or make a move. Alright, these guys are out of ammo. Another big counterattack incoming. And we're out of really good options to bring it, to take it on with. I think I'm going to pull those tanks back, get them repaired, and well, we don't have any reinforcements for them. So really just repaired and restocked on ammo. If I had to guess, I'd say they're going to go for the railway station. But I don't know. Nothing over there. We're gonna let these guys get really dug in here. What kind of ATGM do they have? Milan 2, which is only 2,000. And the anti-tank they have is only 800 for the infantry carried ones.
5 minutes remaining.
There it is. They're coming in quick, wow. Alright, so first platoon's down. Uh-oh. So as soon as it looks like our helicopters are taking any hits, I'm going to pull them out. Alright, and our Lukes went down. Alright, I think we're holding this attack back. So that one went well, we held it. Alright, those leopards are getting a little too beat up. I don't think we have the strength to keep them in there and without taking more losses. And I know their health was low. So any more damage and they'll start checking out. Let's keep moving these guys up. And yeah, look at this bottom line. We don't have a lot of stuff to bring in. Oh, can't call in helicopters because I have air defense right there. So we'll try some artillery instead. I want to move my infantry up, but they're dug in, and I don't want to lose that benefit. So let's see where artillery are. And that will help deal with some of the guys that are dug in. Alright, 1 minute left. Let's take Mulhausen 1. We've got the strength to do it. And from there we can hit Rodeburg, Delta, and do warehouses and hotel quick. We've got enough forces here, we can take out that BTR quickly. I'm actually going to pull that mortar back. Well, you guys hold fire. so looking at the after action report, we took a few more losses than I'd like to see. 23 to 84 dead, total 112 to 351. That's a good ratio. We lost a helicopter, they lost 3 aircraft. And the vehicles are where it gets a little difficult for us. We lost 13 vehicles. That's going to be expensive in operational authority. But when we look at how these guys did, there's Leopard 2A4. That's a huge number of kills. Only 3 T-72s, or 2 T-72s, but they just took out everything quick. And our helicopters did a good job taking out 3 T-72 platoons while they were in there. We pulled them out quick because we didn't want to lose them. But I think that was a good use there. All right, so before we close, just want to take a look at how things look for next time. These losses are going to be expensive to replace. Wow, 38 points for a helicopter. So we are not going to be able to replace everything, and we can't call in any more platoons. I guess this is showing a little bit what the hard difficulty looks like. We're going to have to make some tough decisions next time. Come back, see how we do, see if we can pull this off. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the game.